Defensive wasn't all amazing. I know this has been a very positive show, and I'm thankful for that. But the tackling was a major concern. So let's listen to Kyle Shanahan. Then I want to hear your thoughts on the tackling of the 49ers defense.
I thought, just looking at it live, thought we missed way too many tackles today, which, and give them credit. They got a bunch of guys that are hard to tackle. I mean, obviously their quarterback is as tough as it gets, but they're skill players. They all can run, they're fast, they're back. They got a bunch of guys who create that stuff, but it was disappointing on the missed tackles. Always when you add in the running element of a quarterback, that gets some too. But we definitely didn't play the run good enough today, which I think was pretty obvious. But we came here with one thing on our mind, and that was to get a win, and that's what we got done. And now we got to make sure to clean that stuff up.
Yeah, that's huge. And plugged in right here. We had missed tackles on every level. So Wade, what are your thoughts on this, man?
The missed tackles are an issue. 16. 16 missed tackles.
That's Joe Montana tackles.
I'm not sure if this was the highest game, but I think it was. I think this was the game with the most missed tackles. I think previously it was 14. So yeah, 16 missed tackles in this game. Like the missed tackles wouldn't have even. I'm more upset that they gave up the explosive plays on the ground. I know that sounds weird because and those explosive plays were missed tackles, but there were also other missed tackles, right? That didn't give up explosives. But when you talk about the run game, the Niners predicate themselves on stopping the run. And when you get 2 runs for over 40 yards apiece, that's the issue. So when you look at their run game, you'd be like, if you take away those 2 explosives, you take away Connor's 44, you take away Amari DeMarcado's 49, which is the worst one. That was the last one, right? You take those away, they don't even rush for close to over 100 yards. And so the Niners got, but in order to do that, you got to tackle. So you got to get the tackling back in there. Fred Warner talked about, just getting back to the fundamentals and things like that. And why are we trying to get to the fundamentals week 15? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know if players are overcompensating. I don't know. But they gotta definitely be better. They gotta get those missed tackles. It's like the defense, worst part of the defense were the missed tackles. Other than that, they made plays. They got turnovers. They got stops. They were good. They just weren't great. And now you got to play Lamar Jackson in that running team, and it's going to be tough this week.
It is. It's not going to be easy. And, everything that, my favorite thing that Fred Warner said is, look, I have to be the standard. I have to be. And that's like my new nickname for him. I don't know if he has a nickname, but he's the standard. He's the best in the NFL at his position by a mile. The best defense in the NFL, we're going to find out this week against Baltimore. But you look at, he led the team in missed tackles. However, he did have 6 solo stops, that's a damn good game. 6 solo stops in one game is incredible. But he does have to play hero ball whenever guys are not stepping up around him. And the fact that you have somebody like Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who didn't have a terrible game, but he didn't have one solo stop. This dude's out there for 30 snaps and had a linebacker spot and had no solo stops. He's having to overcome and do a lot. Now, sticking with missed tackles, T.Y. McGill had 3. Fred Warner had 3. Randy Gregory had 2. I thought Randy Gregory had his worst game as a 49er so far. I did not think that he played well. 0 solo stops. Tayshaun Gibson.
He almost got Nick Bosa hurt.
He sure did, man. He took out 2 plays in a row, and they both were Niners players. And it was just Randy Gregory, come on, man. Calm down. Tayshaun Gibson, 2 missed tackles. D. Winters 1. Ambry Thomas 1. Demo 1. Greenlaw 1. And Greenlaw's 1 was bad. That was the huge touchdown run. He was right where he should have been. But he just missed it. Bosa 1. Farrell 1. So it was a lot. It was a collective effort. But whenever you win, and that's the thing, when the defense plays that bad, it gives up 200 plus rushing yards. That's crazy.
It's crazy. But the majority of those rushing yards, you subtract those 89 yards. I mean, it's just it was explosives, man. Yeah. And then it was explosives when they should have been tackled for losses. I think that's the issue, right? You wrap and tackle those guys behind the line of scrimmage, boom, you Gucci. I don't know. The Niners just got to be better, and to throw them some slack. They were throwing everything at the 49ers. They ran with everybody. Like I think my grandma had a run. Like everybody that can run the ball ran the ball. Look, James Conner, 14 for 86. Kyler Murray, 6 for 49. That was the issue. Amari DeMercado, 4 for 64. Michael Carter, they picked him up, 3 for 27. Greg Dortch, now they get into their wide receiver. Even Clayton Tune had a rush for 0 yards.
Yeah. They were running it. And I said, like in the game plan with you, like when we were talking about it on Friday in my preview show, I was like, look, they're going to try to run the ball. That's what they need to do. That's their whole thing. And they did that. And they do have a lot of shifty players. But the 49ers got to be better. I don't care how good they are. You're playing a lot of shifty players this week, too. Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson. I mean, they've got guys. They're running back. Their stud young running back. He's out for the year. Keaton Mitchell, which sucks. But you got to go do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And so I'll say that. Like the 49ers are going to be okay. You're going to get some of those guys back. You got extra days rest now. Let's just take care of business. That's what we got on the horizon, which I'm excited about. So
the 49ers Rush Podcast.